So guys, I actually had a live feed, and this official video is also going to have a lot of information about this polisher here. But I'm gonna make this video as a dedicated review video for this polisher so we can cut right to the chase. But let's talk about the polisher. So this little guy here is under $200 on Amazon. It is their cordless polisher. It's a 15mm throw, so like the Rupes polisher and many other different 15mm throw polishers. So I'm going to go through some of the pros and cons. Let's talk about the pros first. First things first, the polisher looks really nice. It's actually an awesome design. The balance and weight are perfect. The weight of the battery offsets the weight of the head here, and where you hold it with the trigger, it just feels really good in the hand. The structure of it feels very, very sturdy. And the material on it, you know, it feels like pretty good high-grade plastic. And even around the grip here, it's not just plastic. This is actually rubberized, and around here is rubberized also. So when you're holding it, the little rubber gripping here does hold your hand firmly to it. It's not slippery plastic, which is nice. It does have the trigger and the trigger lock here. It does come with 2 batteries, and this kit comes with a bunch of different pads, which I'm going to be using those later on and showing you guys what they can do. I love my Lake Country pads. The pads that it came with are actually very, very good too, and I'll show you what those pads can do on the panel here. So all in all, it works very well. It's actually pretty torquey, and it doesn't vibrate. It doesn't feel chintzy or cheap when you're using it. Let me give you an example of the 3 different speeds on here. It only comes with 3 speeds, and it doesn't have a speed dial. It has this little semi-digital readout here, which we'll talk about in a second. But here's one of the speeds. When you click it, it actually turns on the little dial here, and I'll show you the little battery and modes. Here's the low speed. Then it goes up, and that's the highest. Very well balanced. Really well balanced. It feels good on the paint, and when we're working around curved areas, it stalls just as much as the Rupes does. But if you angle it just right around those areas and you don't put pressure, you'll still get the continuous spin, which is really good. So this actually does very, very good on curvy panels. This Jeep is full of curvy panels and little dips into the fender here and into the door that this thing works very well around. It still spins. And even when you put pressure on it, it still spins. So that's a pro. That is a plus. The machine has got a lot of power to it. Would I call this a pro machine? No, it's not a pro machine, but for a beginner or for just a quick cordless polisher to do some light polishing or wax or sealant application, perfect. This is, I'm gonna have to say, kind of a must-have for mobile detailers. This is going to save you so much because it's going to save you time for one thing and gas for the pressure washer. If you're doing an exterior only detail and you're using your pressure washer or whatever you use, you wash, you do all your prepping, and you don't have to start the generator just to apply wax or do a light polish or apply your sealant if you use a machine like I do. So this thing is quick. I'm just going to take it right off its little polishing rack, slap a nice soft foam pad on it, whatever liquid wax or sealant I'm using, and get right to work. And I will fly around the vehicle quickly with this thing and not have to worry about losing juice at all. Here are some of the cons. For one thing, I would definitely suggest to SPTA to include more batteries. It comes with 2 batteries and 1 single charger. For professionals, they're going to want more. I know this isn't the pro level machine. It could be so much more. I see a lot of potential in this little guy, and if it came with 3 batteries and a double charger, so you're charging 2 batteries at once, working on one, that way you can really use this machine extensively. So extra batteries would be nice. And this thing clicks into here very, very sturdy with no vibrating, nothing weird at all. It just fits. Here's another con. If you look at the little dial here, you have to press the trigger once to activate the dial. But you have the battery meter here, so green, yellow, and red. And then you have your speeds, 1, 2, and 3. And 1 is the highest, 3 is the lowest. I don't understand that, but whatever, that's okay. And you do have to press this little on and off button to activate the speed. So you press the trigger, it turns on, and then you can scroll through the different speeds. And you can do that while it's on. So that's okay. You can do that on the fly, but I would prefer a dial. Even if it's 3 speeds, even if that's all you can do, then put a dial up here or put the digital readout up here. And don't make it a chintzy sticker. That's not good. That will quickly wear off, and I don't want to peel it. I don't know what's underneath. I don't want to ruin it. It really should be either a solid piece of clear plexiglass or clear plastic with the little, logos on there with the little lettering and dials, or it should be up here. Even if it's here, that's fine. Just improve that. Don't make it a sticker. Make that a nice solid piece of plastic so that it's waterproof, doesn't wear off, because I can see that button is going to wear off very, very easily because you have to keep pressing it. Other than that, I am very impressed with it. It works extremely well. And look how well balanced this machine is. You can really fly with it. It's nice and I would say fairly light. So now it's hazy, right? But I got close enough to get those spots out. Looks really, really good. There's a little bit extra there, but that kind of starts to dip into the handle here, so I really can't get in there too tight. But for what it is, it actually did a really good job. Now, talking about the pads, these are actually quite substantial. They are not just cheesy, cheap pads. When you really look at the quality of them, I'm impressed. Check out the shape of them for one thing. These are actually cut really, really well. So even the foam itself, the density of it, it feels really good quality. The backing plate is actually very substantial. It doesn't feel chintzy or cheap. These pads do not feel cheap to me. Did really well even around here. You know, you angle it just enough, just right, so that that spinning action still continues. The green one is actually a little bit firmer and would actually do really well for heavier compounding. I'm not going to use this right now because I really don't need to. This is actually doing a really good job. All right, guys, so my final thoughts on the machine. I am very, very happy with it. Am I super impressed with it? No, because there are some things that they can work on, like that little digital readout display, and definitely add some extra batteries. I would suggest at least 3 batteries with a double charging pack. That would actually make this thing really, really awesome. But overall, the usability of it is great. It's awesome for mobile detailers, for wax and sealant application, or light polishing. Paint enhancements, I think, are going to be the most that this machine can handle, especially with the battery life. The battery life wasn't horrible. Again, it's cordless. You're going to run out of juice at some point. So I got about a half hour-ish on each battery. I was taking my time around the vehicle and still using this pretty heavily. And I used up about 3 batteries. That's not bad. Of course, it didn't have 3 batteries. I mean, it's 2 batteries, but I used the equivalent of 3 batteries on it. Not too bad. Again, the ergonomics of the machine, I think, are excellent, well balanced. I like the size of it. It's small. I would love to see them improve on it, but if not, it's a great entry-level polisher for any beginner or for any person like me that's been doing paint corrections for a number of years. I just wanted something cordless that I can buzz around the vehicle polishing, not necessarily cutting and polishing. If you were to do a full paint correction with this machine, you'd run out of juice way too fast. That's why you need more batteries, and that charger charges pretty quick. It should be a little bit faster. If SPTA made those improvements, they do make it 21 millimeter, a larger one, and if they were to make a force rotation cordless, I'm sure they're working on it, that would be amazing. I would love to try out those machines also. But for now, this did a great job polishing this black Jeep. So guys, if you want to check it out for yourself, I'll put the links down below, and I'll put a link to all the other polishers that SPTA offers. If I'm really happy with this one, I'm sure their other ones are great.
Just this polisher about 6 months ago, and the battery clips wore out, which are here inside the housing. So they would no longer actually hold the battery onto the polisher itself. As you can see here, they're also a little burned. When they burned, they melted the actual battery shell. So I contacted the company about it, and they sent me a replacement battery shell. Instead of a replacement battery, they just sent the shell with a circuit board that has to be soldered onto the battery on these points here. Unfortunately, I don't have a soldering iron, nor have I ever learned how to solder, so this is completely unhelpful. And that was after I went back and forth with the warranty company about 15 times via WhatsApp.